Might have gone a bit far on some parts like the case and power supply, but overall I think it's a decent AM5 build. Okay, so, okay, what were we using the secondary build for? This is weird.
Definitely already built.
These are totally different actually, because this one's B580.
Okay, 6800 XT for 350.
That's good as well used.
You guys are always asking us for PC building advice, so today we're gonna rate your gaming PCs.
Welcome to episode 1 of rating your gaming PCs through PC Part Picker, where we take a look at your future PC builds or current PC builds and give you all advice on how you can upgrade it or just scrap it because maybe it's just not good enough, and we're gonna tell you why after a word from today's sponsor. Hey Jackson, you ready to film?
Yeah, I'm about ready.
Are you gaming right now?
Yeah, man, my absolute favorite mobile game of all time just launched a new event.
Oh, you gotta tell me more about it.
Raid Shadow Legends just started running their latest global event, Alice's Adventure, which is actually inspired by the classic tale Alice's Adventures in the Wonderland. I mean, dude, look at this cinematic trailer. This is actually one of the craziest trailers I've seen in a while for a game.
Wow, the graphics look amazing, and 5 new champions? That's so much gameplay. Speaking of those new legendary champions, there are 5 new ones in total, and players can get their hands on the likes of Alice the Wanderer, Cheshire Cat, Mad Hatter, Knave of Hearts, and the fearsome Queen of Hearts.
What's even better about this event is that players can get these awesome new legendary heroes along with tons more rewards for free, simply by logging in daily consecutively to get Alice the Wanderer,
completing event-specific fusion events to claim Mad Hatter,
and even the legendary Queen of Hearts is up for grabs. That is if you conquer her event dungeon by fighting her and her minions, which hold awesome rewards and gear sets.
So what are you waiting for? You need to try Raid Shadow Legends today and cash in on this awesome new event by using the QR code in the top left of the screen right here. It'll take you exactly where you need to be to cash in on the awesome bonuses only available using our link.
The Link Starter Pack gives you Epic Champion, Ultimate Galek from the Orcs faction, and at level 15, Epic Champion Fayne.
The icing on the cake is to have free access to the legendary champion Sun Wukong using promo code Monkey King, which won't last long. Thanks again to Raid Shadow Legends for sponsoring this video. Now let's get back to it, shall we? First up, we got TaylorFN, which by the way, guys, if you ever want to submit your PC build using PC Part Picker for future submission videos, go to our Discord, discord.gg/toastybros, and there is a section in the Discord for these PC Part Picker listings. We go through, we pick a handful of them, we do these videos, and if they do well, we'll keep doing this in the future. But first up, we have our friend here who has a pretty interesting setup here. So this build, see if we get any context. Working on over Christmas break, or a little past Christmas break, I will say, to be able to build their first PC ever. We'd love to get your guys' input on my part selection and let me know if there's anything I can change or improve.
So I guess they might have gotten the money, so maybe they bought the build, but okay. All right, 7600X, I'm already liking that CPU, but then the cooler below it, I'm a little questionable on.
I'm a little questionable if this build's actually gonna work because I'm looking at the case. Well, I'm not gonna cheat here. I feel like this might fit, but I can't remember if the King 95 is one that will fit it right. You don't explain why we're concerned about this cooler.
So the Arctic Liquid Freezer lineup of coolers is like one of the biggest AIOs in the line. So even though it says 360 mil, it is not like the other 360s. It is a lot thicker because of the fans and the radiator thickness, and it's longer too because of the end caps. So that 360 is more like a 420 mil, and I don't even, have we built in the King 65 yet?
I don't know if we have. What is the difference here?
I'd imagine it's smaller, but I
don't know. So King 65 is smaller. Oh, wow. It looks like a, it
looks like one of those basic, like, the copycat
yeah,
cases.
Yeah, the Q3 cases almost, but it's ATX. What is the AIO support?
It's a video card that can fit 420 mil, so
420.
That's good.
Of course, PC Part Picker won't tell me the max AIO support. Let's figure this out, because we got to give this guy the proper advice here.
Yeah, if it says 360, then I normally don't trust it.
Yeah, that is the biggest issue. Let's see. Let's go to, let's just check Amazon. Might as well. 360. So yeah, the biggest thing is it's risky. And hopefully when you plan this PC, if you already went with this, that it does fit. The case is actually kind of cool, I will say. I haven't seen this one for 90 bucks. It actually looks pretty nice with the RGB fans. It's not much more special than some of the other ones we've seen, but I mean the price is fair.
Are they reverse blade too, I wonder?
Knowing Montech, I would think so, but they don't talk about it.
Yeah, I wasn't getting the vibe.
They might not be. So that's something you might have to keep in mind. Not sure the reverse blade. You all can let us know down below if they are. But it's one of those cases where for the price, it's fine. It's not too bad of an option. And I see you're going with like an all-white aesthetic here. The motherboard, nice board.
Ooh, I do see, I'm hoping that pricing is way wrong because if I know you're going for white, but at $530 for 4060 is really bad.
Oh, that is
That's like 4070 pricing.
I really hope they didn't pay that price for a 4060.
Which, little disclaimer, PC Part Picker does not always do the best at like finding finding good parts and good prices. They actually lack a lot of parts.
Yeah, they do lack a lot of parts, so we can't get the exact copies for it, but if you guys ever have like a build you're already done and it's not in PC Part Picker and you show us, you could custom add stuff and put a price. That would work as well. But no, if you paid $500 for a 4060 for the all-white aesthetic, I'm sorry you did this, and I'm sorry we didn't make this video sooner. But the motherboard's a good choice. RAM, solid choice. CL30 is acceptable. The MP44L.
Another thing they could do is, I don't see sleeve cables, which they might not just be there. So either get white sleeve cables or get a white power supply that has white cables.
Yeah, and factoring in that we're thinking this is not $530. I was going to say, because $1,355 to build your own 4060 build is not good. Not good value. So hopefully you got that at around the $300 mark, maybe a little bit more for the all-white aesthetic, and then we're probably looking at, what, a little under $1,000 for this build?
That'd be ideal.
And for an all-white build, I think that's pretty good. So yeah, what we'd say is hopefully if you built this, the cooler fits. And secondly, maybe swap out the graphics card if it's $500, because that's a lot for a 4060.
All right, let's go to the next build.
AnyTunes just sent us a link and said, here you go. So that's what we're going to work with here. I see a trend here with some of these so far.
It's like they've been listening to the Toasty Bro. So we got a 7600 non-X, which solid choice still. We like these motherboards, the PG Lightnings.
Yep.
That seems a little bit expensive for a micro ATX.
That's really expensive, actually.
Yeah, you should be looking more like for a B650M, even with Wi-Fi, I'd say like 120 to like about 170.
Yeah, the Lightning's a good board, but yeah, no, that might just be Amazon availability, let's be honest here. Silicon Power 32 gigs, CL30. That's good. The SN580 is a pretty slow Gen 4 drive. $57 is cheap though for 1 terabyte storage. So, and also I love that, again, PC Part Picker. You're buying this from iBuyPower. I'm just going to ignore that for future ones.
I will say though, with the $5 shit, like at $62, you can definitely get a faster Gen 4 drive.
Yeah, what can you even find right now? Let's see.
I know like the MP44L is around there, which I don't really know how much faster that one is. The Clev Gen 4 is not bad either.
Yeah, I mean, that's a decent amount more expensive. I know those T500s are good.
These are good, and that's about the same price, 64.
Yeah, so there are better options for drives, but it's not the end of the world if you did go with that one. The Summa Q5, that's a classic.
Yeah, it's a little larger version of...
Yeah, $58, so not too bad.
You know what's funny is that looks just like that new Thermaltake Versa case.
It does. I feel like they're all using the same frame. That's a good case for the price.
Yeah.
On Newegg, that case and like the Q300 are like the best budget cases, and this one's so much better than the Q300.
And it's micro ATX, and you get a micro ATX board, so you got to match.
I respect the power supply too. 83 seems is that normal for that power supply?
They are like $70 to $80 something, and with power supply shortages, maybe.
Yeah. Okay, so this build, we saw 7800 XT. I didn't mean to overlook that. That's a solid price. That's a card right now that you can get. Obviously, disclaimer: we're filming this with all new stuff coming out within the next couple of weeks, so these choices may not be as good, or this card could be significantly cheaper, and we'd be recommending you go use market. But at this time of filming this video, which is January 15th, it looks like a solid build. This is a build we would do for maximum price performance.
Yeah, it looks pretty good. All right, let's see what we got next.
Might have gone a bit far on some parts like the case and power supply, but overall I think it's a decent AM5 build. Wait a minute.
Compatibility.
What is going on here?
8400F. You know, someone in chat asked about the 8400F yesterday, and I was like, I can't tell you much about it. I just know that it has some limitations.
I know it has some fatal flaws, especially compared to the 7600. I know it's $149 and it's incredibly tempting, but if you are trying to save money, and it's annoying, but AliExpress 7500F is a way better option versus the 8400F, but you gotta wait for it, so I understand, but I would probably just save up for a 7600 or 7600X, because spending that extra $40 gives you much more long-term support.
I see we also have 2 SSDs. They got the same motherboard too. That's, once again, don't pay that much for the board. Yeah. Now the 2 SSD thing, I know a lot of people, they still have the mindset of I need Windows on one and my games on the other. If that's just how you feel, like maybe you want redundancy, that's fine. You know, in case your game drive crashes, you don't want to lose Windows or vice versa. But realistically, Gen 4 drives are so fast that you're never going to get past like 40 to 50% utilization, even in Windows while you're playing a game on it.
Yeah, so the people who do that, again, back in the day, it was really popular to get a small SSD with a hard drive, but we're kind of beyond those eras. If you're using an SSD, and you should be using an SSD, just get a single big drive, call it a day, unless you feel like you really need a separate game drive for redundancy purposes.
So, you know, honestly, I would almost just go 7500F, 7600, or the 7600 combo. It's iconic.
This case. All right, so this case, I haven't seen this one before. So it's a micro ATX mid-tower. It doesn't look micro ATX.
It looks full ATX. It's weird how it drops down like a full ATX.
The Pano from MSI. I feel like we don't normally get their cases. The price is And I know you said you thought you went overkill on the case. If you really like the look of it, it's fine.
It's not too bad.
The Apevia Premier. Now, I don't know much about the Premier. I know the Prestige is the good one. That's actually C tier. I don't know much about the Premier.
It's 80 plus and it's semi-modular, so it
Well, look how much they went like RGB on it.
The RGB part, so like I used to do this. Back in the day before RGB, I would buy like the power supplies with the blue LEDs. Typically, when there's lights in the power supplies, unless it's one of those like ROG Thor power supplies for $300, they're not great. So I'd maybe switch the power supply, but if it's on the tier list and it's like C tier, then go for it.
Yeah, I would say it's compensating for some things. It's compensating for its areas, but we know right now, especially playing PCs, it's kind of hard to get certain power supplies. So, you know, if you can go Sigotep, I mean, that's the one we recommend, the easy, like, no-brainer choice, but this one's fine. I would just say, recap, combine the SSDs if you're not worried about redundancy, go 7500F, and then, you know, power supply, maybe it's solid.
Cheaper motherboard.
7600 is fair price, so that's a good combo.
Next.
Defendo. Defendo 99 just made an all-Intel build for the B580. I like this one. Let's see. This looks very similar to a build you planned.
It does. It feels like a build guide. Okay, so 12600K. We would, unless you're doing like video editing or something very specific, if the KF is cheaper, go with that. If not, go with the K.
ID cooling Frozen A610 in white.
A little bit bigger version of the A410.
That looks pretty clean. It's RGB.
I like it.
B760M. We got 32 gigs of Z5, which is
that's a good motherboard price.
Yes, that's a good motherboard price. Now, is the Z5, I can't remember. We've done this a couple times because of price performance. I think the Z5 is that the Intel one or is that the AMD one?
The Intel Expo or AMD? I don't remember.
I don't remember which it's designed for. But there are some that if you are particular about running XMP and you want to make sure it has true stability with the motherboard that has compatibility for it, you want to check. G-Skill seems to run different kits for different profiles, so that's something to consider. But for most people, it doesn't really matter too much. 2 terabytes of storage.
Those are solid. The UD90s are like 5,000 or 6,000 read write, so they're pretty quick.
Yeah, and see, this will look really clean. This is similar to our all-white build, but we went 7500F. If you get that Steel Legend B580, 269, it's a little bit more expensive. Big if, though. Big if you could find it. Aqua 3.
Ooh, in white.
Beautiful.
And you know what's funny is the Aqua 3 in white, if it's the one I'm thinking, it was a little bit different than the black version. Like internally, it was weird.
MSI Mag Power Supply, 59. That's actually a pretty good price for 650, 59 bucks for that. That's not bad. The ID cooling fans, I guess you're just going for the aesthetic approach. I see you're going really aesthetic because you would be swapping out pretty much all 3 of those fans to add those. I think you can add 2 on the basement. I don't remember if you can do that for the Aqua 3 or not.
Which honestly, if you're going to do all that work, it might be worth getting a reverse blade pack for the sides. And then where else would they add them? The basement?
I don't know if you can add fans to the basement. I've mentioned that on stream, but I
don't
know
sorry,
if you
this
can.
isn't even. Sorry, yeah, I said reverse blade. You don't need to do no reverse blade.
Yeah, because
take that out.
Yeah, really, you're just replacing these fans.
Yeah.
So I would just say if you want to do that, sure. I personally would.
It's weird that they come in black.
Yeah, that is true. I didn't realize that. That is kind of weird. So now I kind of get it. I mean, $6 if you want to have a contact plate, sure, whatever. Sleeve cables, I will say that case is pretty compact. Sleeve cables will be a bit of a cable management challenge. I don't think you necessarily need the support bracket in that case.
It's a standard support bracket or just
it's just a little nub
type. Okay.
Sure. If you want
it.
Just in case. I think all in all for $1,000, it's pretty solid. It all depends again on the B580. Can you actually get one? We don't really know if that's going to get any better, but right now, if you can get it and you pair with a CPU like this, wouldn't go much lower than a CPU like this, but it would be a good build.
Solid.
Eddie sent us 2 builds.
2 builds?
Well, which means we're going to go quick with them.
Ooh, that means they want a comparison.
13100F with the B760M.
Good price for that right now. Check the 14100 because I think that one's like the same price too. 16 gigs of DDR4 from TimeTech, Silicon Power A60, 1 terabyte. That's really cheap. That is a Gen 3 drive. You could go Gen 4. RX 6600 for $199. That seems to be normal for that card right now. It's a white version too. The Nova Mesh.
Nova Mesh, I haven't seen that case in a while. And the Sigotep GN650. Love
listened.
that. This is a good build for $568.
That's solid.
I don't see any major things I would change. You're using stock coolers, save some money. That's good. Let's see how this super budget build. So I guess these are totally different actually because this one's B580.
Ooh, yeah. So this one's about $200 more. And I mean, your A620, but it is DDR5, which is cool. 8400F, which once again goes 7500F, but I
know you marked it at 90. If you found it, is that like an AliExpress thing? I feel like AliExpress would probably have them for $90. Maybe at 90 it makes sense.
Tempting, actually.
Maybe it makes sense at 90. Maybe we have to try that.
We still have a Gen 3. We still have we have 32 gigs now of DDR5, so that's cool. But you're not going to see a lot of gaming performance from that. See a B580. which for $250, I'm like, hey, if you can, I think both builds are good.
Yeah, I think both. Yeah, $700 if you can get the B580 with that CPU. I'd be curious to see what the performance is like, but this would be a really good entry-level 1440p PC, like no problem.
Yeah, I would look a little more for the B650Ms because I feel like you can find a B650M for really close to this A620 price.
Get a little bit more of an upgrade path there, because again, that CPU at some point you're definitely want to upgrade it. Oh, I love this. Oh, we're seeing it this way. My $1,000 pure performance build. So this was back when this is a little bit of a dated build because this was during Newegg sale, where if you bought a 7600X, you got a free SSD. Awesome value, by the way. Stay tuned for the holidays again, because you'll definitely find deals like
free
that.
Free SSDs and free RAM kits.
Can't complain about that. So $194 for the 7600X with the SSD. Beautiful. UX200. I don't think we've used the thermal take tower coolers before, but that price is fair.
So it looks solid though. You got a B650 full size, it looks like, yeah, for $143.
Yeah, an open box from Micro Center. Oh, this one's a deal hunter. I like that. Silicon Power, X Power RAM, 32 gigs, CL30.
CL30.
Solid. There's your free SSD. MSI Mag 750, good power supply, $79 is good.
6800 XT for $350.
That's good as well, used. And then the Sama InView, is that one we built in before? Oh, we built in this, didn't we, with those fans, or did we not?
Man, I've seen those fans so much. I don't remember ever buying this case, but it looks cool.
It looks in line with all the other ones, like Aqua 3 and all that other same design. I'm assuming they're not reverse blade. Yeah, I would assume.
I'd be surprised.
I'd be surprised for the price. They're probably just the same budget RGB fans. So for the price, good build. I think you did really good with deal hunting. Very good build, $1,000 if you're talking pure performance. I mean, technically you go with something without RGB, but I like this version of pure performance that has a little bit of pizzazz to it.
It actually looks nice. David Ray's work in progress.
Another 12600K build. 173, I will say, is getting to pricey territory for that CPU, just because, and also this, I would not pay, this PC part picker probably being a little lucky, because $389.
This is how people on Facebook, when every time I see someone listing their PC, they have PC part picker, and I'm like, bruh, these prices are so bad.
So this is your build right now, which I encourage you guys to give us context, because it allows us to better give you advice. I think it's fine, but I would not go out of my way to build this. Also, GREs, they don't make those anymore from AMD, unfortunately, so they're going to be harder to find.
This must already be built.
This has to be built.
Supernova, I mean,
this has to be built. So if you're looking for upgrade recommendations, I mean, you could go up to a 14 gen with that motherboard if you wanted to. You're probably found the 12600K. You have a GRE.
You have really good DDR4 fast RAM.
I think you have a solid build, and you're in the 11 Dynamic Mini, solid case. I don't know what kind of fan configuration you're rocking, but
if you're in the Mini, can that one take a full-size board? I thought that was one that could only do up to micro ATX.
I thought it can do both, but it changes the way the radiator support mounts. So like you can only do certain supports.
Yeah, full size in a mini case is crazy.
Yeah, so if you were building this now, I would change some things. I would do something totally different, because motherboard and CPU, that's overpriced. But if you already had this build, I like it.
Solid.
And theoretical upgrade path would be a 13 or 14 gen CPU if you want to, or wait for whatever next new stuff comes out.
This is the build I would just ride out until you're ready to do a whole new build, because like 700 GRE with the 12600K is a good combo for gaming. Potato sack.
I like potato sack. I feel like it's gonna be great.
This is a secondary build.
Okay, so, okay. What were we using the secondary build for? This is weird.
Definitely already built.
Has to be.
So, man, I've seen a lot of classic. This is like some throwback stuff. So 3200X was a cool CPU. Obviously, this is one of those builds where we're going to completely ignore pricing because the prices are all horrible.
Yeah.
But at 3200X, you have a full-size board. It's a B550. Okay. It's definitely thrown together. 16 gigs of 3200 CL16. You got a pretty good 2.5-inch drive. Look, EVGA 980 Ti.
Oh, wow.
What a throwback.
Those are the cards you would see all the time on B-Stock. I was just talking about B-Stock the other day. I miss B-Stock. The bolts from AeroCool.
See, that's what, as soon as I saw AeroCool, I was like, man, when they every time they send us a new case, it was always the same case with a different front panel.
Uh-oh, guys. Uh-oh. Bomb! Just kidding, guys. It's totally fun. Windows 10, hopefully you use gvgmall. Just saying. And then we have the monitor. You threw the monitor in there. I like that. It's actually not a bad price for a monitor.
Yeah, I'm curious what this, more for the next episode too. I want to see more context as like what you use this kind of stuff for.
Yeah, are you someone who just likes backup computers? Because we know those people. They like on backup computers. Or do you actually have this for streaming or something like that? Let us know. Cowboy from Hell.
Whoa, edgy name.
So here are my two builds. I'm looking to see which one is better as my first build. Oh, so we got two parts lists and they're trying to decide.
Comparisons.
First up, here we go. 7600, that is, no.
My God.
No, and I know there's gonna be some creators who do these videos who are probably like, oh, Noctua is great. Do not spend that much money on a tower cooler.
No.
The market is so much more competitive nowadays that you can get especially Thermalright, ID Cooling, any other ones you can think of on top of here? Those are the main ones we use a lot of.
Even the other name brands like Corsair, Cooler Master, NZXT, like even the name brands, which I still wouldn't go with, they have coolers cheaper than this.
These are for a 7600.
Yeah, these are. Someone's gonna hate me. These are hunks of metal. They're different metals put together. I know that there's some stuff going on with like the gas design and everything, but I'm like, we're talking about 1 to 2 degree Fahrenheit difference. It is not worth 100 now.
It's not worth it. It's definitely one of those things where if you are in enthusiast territory and you want it, sure, go for it. Whatever, we can't stop you. But we're looking at a 7600 build here
with a B580.
With a B580. No, I wouldn't do it.
Also, that B580 price is absolutely horrible.
Do not pay that.
This build for $1,731
is horrible.
If someone brought that into my shop, no.
And why is that 7600 price $278 too?
What? This is a different country?
Let's pause for a second.
Canada?
This is Canadian.
Okay.
This is Canadian. Okay, so this does make it a little bit different.
But some of these still seem...
What's 409 CAD to USD? No, 285. That's not horrible.
Wow, the conversion's going crazy.
Canada, what's going on with you? What is going on in Canada? Okay, yeah, I want to see this other build because this is really throwing me off.
And I like the case too, but yeah, the Noctua, nothing about it. Everything's weird.
Okay.
That power supply was kind of
this
up there too.
Seems more up out. This is what we're looking at here. So you can go all the way up to a 7700X with a lesser cooler. Everything else looks about the same.
Right.
And this build, I mean, Canadian, it's cheaper.
The other one was what, 1,700 something somehow?
For some reason, the CP price has to be wrong. Actually, no, the CP price could be right.
Yeah.
Because it's Canadian.
I mean, this one being cheaper with the same GPU but a better CPU, and I would almost say better parts overall. It's in the same case too.
Everything is the same minus the RAM is slightly different. It's the T-Create, which is still CL30.
Is this like missing a part? How is it taking away this much money?
CPU, cooler, motherboard, RAM, storage.
Oh, it's probably this.
It's the SSD. Well, yeah, you got a 2 terabyte Gen 4 in there. I guess you're going down to a 1 terabyte.
Oh my God, it saves so much money.
That saves a lot. Why is it so expensive? That's like $200. That's crazy.
I don't think the 990 Pro 2 is 2 terabytes gonna be worth it.
There's way better 2 terabyte Gen 4 drives out there. This one you can run with if you get a lesser cooler, a better SSD deal, and call it a day. But this one on its own is definitely the better configured build, and you get a better CPU. So like, why not? I don't know why this is a debate. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
This one.
Yeah.
Go with this one.
Number 2.
And lastly, we have Coro. I have a Ryzen 7 5800X non-3D paired with a 2070 Super, RIP UVGA, we all feel the same, and 32 gigs of DDR4. I have no idea if I should sell the PC and upgrade from there, or should I upgrade what I have? I like this question. Uses 1440p gaming, streaming, and editing. Thank you so much for the content. Much love from Ireland. Okay, so we got some Ireland prices.
Might make it a little more complicated, but we'll do what we can.
By the way, guys, that I just read right there, give us that. That was perfect. Thank you, Cora.
All right. Ooh, I see some Corsair stuff. So 5800X 9-3D, B550 full size.
Keep in mind, this is a build that's already done. So we're trying to decide if it's worth them upgrading. The biggest issue is you can upgrade the GPU very easily.
I love the Amazon pricing for the 2070.
It's horrible. You can upgrade the GPU very easily and get good life out of it. It just depends on if you feel like your games are CPU bound or not. Because I had the same debate. I had the 5800X. I was rocking a 2080 Super, so a little bit better than you. And I went the 4070 Ti, which at 1440p with the 5800X is still really good. But it just depends on, do you have the expendable money where you feel like you want to sell this build and do something totally fresh, or do you just kind of want to, quote unquote, put a Band-Aid on it, slap a new GPU in, and just see if it works good?
I get, my vote would be because you have the power supply that's fully modular. You can get, Corsair just sells the 16-pin cable for like 20 bucks. I would just buy that cable and go with something like a 4070 through a 4070 Ti Super.
It's a nice build. Everything, you get a bunch of Corsair stuff. Everything is really clean. It's still very modern. So I personally would go the upgrade the GPU route. And then if you want to sell it later after that and do a new build, maybe towards the end of 5000 series, if you want to go that route, sure. But I think you have a lot of life with the 5800X. It's a very underrated CPU.
And to give you an idea, if you were to sell this build, like let's say you have this money into it, 2066, I would say, I don't know what Ireland market's like, but I know here for that build, you might get $600 to $800 for it as it sits now. Maybe even less depending on how the Facebook market's going. So I would almost just say upgrading this and selling your GPU alone would be a better deal.
So yeah, guys, that wraps up the first episode of reviewing your PC part pickers. If you guys enjoyed this video, or if you don't like our takes, I want to hear from you guys in the comments down below. Once again, join discord.gg/toastybros if you want to submit yours for the next episode, and hopefully we will see your all's builds in a future video.
And as always, we hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, check out our other two YouTube channels and also our twitch.tv/toastybros, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
And we'll see you guys on the next one. Bye-bye.
Now, if all of this PC part picker mumbo jumbo kind of scared you, you should just go to pcbros.tech because our builds are just ready to go.
And if you just want a PC that has a 1-year warranty that gives you customer support and peace of mind, pcbros.tech. Don't worry about building your computer, just buy one ready to go. Use code ToastyBros on checkout, you'll save 3% on your next purchase. See you guys later. Bye-bye.
Roll out.
Roll out, partner.